guys every single React hook. If you're familiar with my channel, I have a video already on this. It's actually my most successful video so far on my channel. And the reason why I wanted to remake this is because that video was made 3 years ago and I didn't even cover every single hook. And as of 2024, a lot of new hooks were introduced. Some hooks were removed and became completely deprecated. So I wanted to make a new video on this because it seemed like a lot of you guys really enjoyed my last one. My purpose of this video is very similar to my last one, where I don't intend you to watch the entire video at once, unless you actually want to learn all the hooks at once, but rather use this video as more of a cheat sheet. If you ever want to refine your skills or learn one specific hook that you might need for a specific use case, check the video part for that hook in this video. I obviously put timestamps on this video so you can just move around and choose the specific hook that you want to learn. And also, I'm going to not only put all of the code for this video in the description, but also I'm going to write a step-by-step version of this tutorial where you guys can just go if you want to, if you prefer text-based form. It's going to be on my website, so go to the description. It's pedrotech.co if you're interested in that as well. But yeah, that's basically it. Before we get into the video, if you could leave a like and turn on the notification bell, I would massively appreciate it, because as many of you guys might know, I'm returning back and posting videos. Never enjoyed posting videos as much as I am right now, so I would really appreciate the support that you guys can give me. So if you're interested in doing that, feel free to do so as well. So now that we're done with all of the intro, let's get into the tutorial. Okay everyone, so let's get started. Before I get into our first hook, which is going to obviously be the use state hook, the most simple hook that you can learn in React, I want to explain a little bit about how I'm going to structure this code base in case you want to just follow the examples by going to the code base in the description. How I structure this is I have this folder over here called hooks, and inside of it we'll have the example I'm using in the video for each of the individual hooks, also accompanied by any files that I use for the examples. So if you're interested in just checking out the use ID example, you can click on it and go in there. But in our case, we're going to start with the use state hook. And the way this file is structured is obviously just empty in the beginning, but we'll be including them in our app component as we go through the video, just to show them on our right over here. So let's get started with the use state hook. So if you are a complete beginner in React, you definitely heard of this hook, but I feel like this tutorial might help you even if you have already used the useState hook multiple times, in the sense that I will explain to you guys right from the beginning what's the purpose of a state, why you don't directly just get the DOM elements and edit their HTML directly like you would with normal vanilla JavaScript. States are the fundamental building blocks of a React application. Now, the example I want to use for the state here is the most simple example that I believe is used for describing states, which is the idea of building a counter. So in this component over here, I'm going to put a div, which is going to wrap a p tag, so a paragraph tag, which is going to display some number, which is going to be the count. Then we want to have a button over here, which is going to interact with that number by increasing its value. So we'll say increase counter. Now, we currently have no way to store that number for the count, and we have no functions to call when you click the button. Before we create any state, let's just do it how we would normally do with a normal variable, as if you were playing around with JavaScript. I'll create a constant over here. Actually, I'll create a normal variable that can be altered, and I'll say count is equal to 0. And then I'll pass this value over here by passing count. Perfect. You see, now we see the count being 0. On this button over here, I'll create a variable called increase count. And inside of here, we're going to put some logic to increase the count and pass this increase count as the on click to this button. Perfect. Now, normally speaking, if I want to make this variable go up, right, this value go up by 1 each time, what I could technically do is do count plus or equals 1. But you'll see that this doesn't work. Now, it technically increases the value. If I were to console log over here the value of count, you'll see that in our console over here, it should technically, when I click the first time, show 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So the variable count is indeed changing. But why aren't we seeing that change over here? Well, because if you were using vanilla JavaScript, what you would do now is you would directly grab whatever p tag is displaying this number and change its value to represent the variable. But we're not doing that. We're using React, where our DOM needs to be updated and re-rendered automatically depending how the state of our application is. So this is the idea of a state. A state, in its most simplest form, is just a variable that you can create and change its value. And when its value is changed, it will automatically trigger a re-render of your page to demonstrate the new value. So how do we create one? Well, the way you do it is like this. You say const and then set an open and closing square brackets. Then you set a dependency list.
Jira is now for all teams.